Let's go even deeper. Let's talk about the moment everything changes. It's not when you get the job, not when you buy the house, not when you finally make it. It's when you decide. When you draw the line in the sand and say, no more pretending, no more shrinking, no more asking the world for permission to be who I already am. That's when your life begins. That's when heaven leans in and says, now they're ready. You see, being chosen doesn't mean you're better. It means you're burdened. Burdened with vision. Burdened with dreams too big for your environment. Burdened with a fire that won't let you rest until you move. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Because most of the world is sleeping. Most of the world is numbing. Most of the world is running from the very thing you're being called into. But not you. You were never built for comfort. You were built for calling. And calling feels like friction at first. It rubs against your routine, it disturbs your plans, it offends your logic. But that's how God gets your attention. He's not trying to harm you, he's trying to wake you up. Because the path you've been on, it's too small, too crowded, too earthly, and he's calling you higher. Now, here's what's wild. When you finally step out, when you stop conforming, when you stop chasing what they said was secure, that's when everything accelerates. It's like heaven had been holding its breath, waiting for you to move. And the moment you do, things you used to fight for suddenly find you. Divine connections, unexplainable peace, provision that doesn't make sense. Because when you're in alignment, you attract what's already assigned to you. You don't have to chase, you don't have to beg, you don't have to perform, you just have to become. But let's be real for a second. There will be resistance. The enemy of your soul does not want you to wake up. He doesn't care if you go to church, post verses, or listen to podcasts. As long as you stay inactive, he wins. But the moment you move, he panics, because a chosen one in motion is a threat to the system, and the system was never built for someone like you. So expect the pushback, expect the fear, expect the doubt, but don't let it stop you. Feel it and move anyway. You're not crazy for wanting more. You're not ungrateful for saying no to what doesn't fit your soul. You're just finally waking up. And when you wake up, you realize something powerful. This world is not your source. Your job isn't your provider. God is. Your boss isn't your leader. The Spirit is. Your salary isn't your worth. Your calling is. This changes everything. You stop living from lack and start living from overflow. You stop reacting to life and start designing it with God. You stop fearing failure because even that becomes fertilizer for growth. Now lean in, because here's a truth that most people miss. Your weirdness is your weapon. Your pain is your platform. Your story is someone else's survival guide. You've been through what you've been through, not to break you, but to build you. God doesn't waste pain. He repurposes it. He turns wounds into wisdom, scars into stories, failures into fire. But only if you give it back to him. Only if you stop hiding it and start healing with it. Because someone out there needs to hear it. They need to know they're not crazy. They need to know healing is possible. They need to know you made it out, so maybe they can too. You are evidence that survival is not the end. Transformation is. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are not too late. Everything you thought was a detour, God is weaving into your destiny. Every rejection, redirection. Every closed door, protection. Every delay, preparation. So stop cursing the process. It's shaping the version of you that can carry the vision. Let me say this clearly. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. You're not being overlooked. You're being hidden for the right moment. You're not being left behind. You're being launched. And it starts now. The moment you say, I'm done waiting, I'm done doubting, I'm done with the distractions. The moment you say, I choose alignment, I choose obedience, I choose my calling. That moment is holy. Because that's when heaven opens. That's when things start moving fast. Doors you couldn't open for years suddenly unlock. People who didn't see you before suddenly show up. Ideas flow. Energy rises. Clarity comes. Because God moves with those who move with him. You've tried everything else. You've tried to fit in. You've tried to play small. You've tried to silence the fire, but it didn't work. Because you weren't built for survival. You were built for impact. So this is it. This is your activation. This is your confirmation. This is your divine reminder. You are the one. Not because you're perfect, not because you're the most qualified, but because you said yes. And heaven doesn't need your resume. Heaven needs your response. This is the final piece. And if you've made it this far, it's not by accident. Because messages like this don't land in everyone's feed. They're not meant for the crowd. They're meant for the called. For those who've been quietly wrestling with something deeper. For those who've outgrown the old life, but haven't yet stepped into the new one. For those who know, somewhere deep inside, that God has set them apart. So let's end with this. What if the life you're praying for is waiting for you to stop settling? What if the clarity you're seeking is on the other side of obedience? What if the real reason things haven't worked is because you weren't supposed to stay where it was safe? Let's be real. The job never satisfied you. The approval never fulfilled you. The routine never lit you up. And that's not failure. That's feedback. It's your soul saying, there's more. And not more hustle, not more striving, not more achievements, more alignment, more truth, more God. Because he's not calling you to grind harder, he's calling you to surrender deeper. He's not asking for perfection, he's asking for presence. He's not testing your worth, he's awakening your why. You were chosen for this time. Not the past, not the future, now. Because the world doesn't need more people fitting in. It needs more people finally standing out. Not with ego, with purpose. Not with noise, with clarity. Not with fear, with faith. And that's you. That's why the old path stopped working. That's why the job became unbearable. That's why the plan started falling apart. Because God didn't call you to be part of the system. He called you to rebuild it. And that starts by walking away from anything that no longer carries life. So here's your next step. Get still. Not passive, not lazy. Still. So you can hear him again. So you can tune out the fear, so you can detach from the noise, so you can finally ask, God, if I stop chasing what they told me to want, what do you actually want for me? And when the answer comes, even if it scares you, move. Even if it costs you comfort, even if it doesn't make sense yet, even if no one around you understands, because obedience opens doors that hustle never will. And when it gets hard, and it will, remember this, you're not alone. The moment you said yes to this calling, heaven assigned backup, provision, protection, people, power, not always visible, not always instant, but always present. You'll feel it in moments of silence, in divine interruptions, in unexplainable peace during chaos. Because when you walk with God, you're never walking blind, you're walking by faith. So take the leap, leave the job that's draining you, release the identity that was never truly you. Let go of the version of success that doesn't carry your soul and pick up your assignment, your mission, your mantle, your miracle. It's waiting, not when the money's right, not when you feel ready, not when others finally approve. Now, let's say it together. I was chosen for this. I don't need to fit in, I was born to stand out. I don't chase money, I carry meaning. I don't follow fear, I follow God. I don't need validation, I already have a vision. I don't wait for opportunity, I walk in obedience. Because this isn't just a video, it's a mirror, a portal, a divine interruption, a reminder of who you are and what you were born to become. So what now? Now you choose, to return to the old or to step into the wild unknown, to play small or to let your calling stretch you, to fit into the world's mold or to rise into the life only you were designed to live. No one's coming to push you. That's not their job. This is between you and the one who called you. And before you go, don't forget, you're not the only one waking up. There are others like you, rising quietly. People in the comments, people watching this right now, people feeling that same tug in their spirit. This is a movement, not hype, not trend, but real people remembering who they are. So if this message spoke to your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, speak it, sow it. Because someone else is one word away from stepping into their purpose. And maybe you are the one God will use to deliver that word. This is not the end, this is the beginning. The beginning of a life not built by fear, but by faith. The beginning of days marked not by struggle, but by surrender. The beginning of a future no longer based on survival, but built on calling. So keep walking, keep trusting, keep becoming. The world may not understand your path, But heaven does, and heaven is watching, cheering, moving with you. This is your time. This is your moment. You've been chosen. Walk like it.